as the first thing that they see. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I know this is gonna happen. Oh gosh! Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, coming at you with another manga reaction video, this time reacting to Dr. Stone, manga chapter 107, or 207. I am very confused about what chapter we're on right now. It's 196. Okay, I got confused because I'm actually looking at a very colorful color spread that has Dr. Stone 10 raised to the 7th. Now that I look at it, I shouldn't have gotten it confused, but it's a very cool color spread. But yes, in this chapter, or in this video specifically, we are going to be reading Dr. Stone 196 and reacting to it, and I'm very excited for it because I've been very excited for Dr. Stone this entire time, mainly because Suika has become the main character. Spoilers to those who are just joining me now, but over the past few chapters, we've seen Suika take on the main role of being the main character, and most likely in this chapter, we're going to see her recreate the revival fluid and revive one of her best friends, or maybe all of them. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to this chapter, and if you're looking forward to this chapter and seeing me react to it, why don't you hit that subscribe button to be notified for whenever I do this, because I normally react to manga chapters to Shonen Jump every Sunday. Dr. Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen, on occasion Black Clover, and if that's the type of content that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. And without the way, let's get right into the reaction, starting with Dr. Stone, chapter 196. Oh, I cannot wait for this. We're about to get into it right now. I'm so excited. Oh, and we're starting off with the first page being in full color. Oh gosh, this is gonna be great as we see Suika. Suika's all alone in the world now, but a little science should be able to revive everyone. Suika's gonna do her best, just like Senku always was. As she bites her hand, causes it to bleed, and she writes E = MC squared. Oh, the callback. Oh, if this does not confirm that Suika's the main character of Dr. Stone now, nothing else will. Until, you know, Senku inevitably returns. But when Senku returns, I'm like, oh, hello, old main protagonist. Suika's now the main protagonist. Senku, you can move along. I know I'm being, like, over dramatic about this, but I really love Suika, and I really love how the story's going with this, as we get the actual big double page cover spread of the chapter, which is Dr. Stone, Z = 196, scientist all alone. Instead of specifically calling out Suika all alone, it's scientist all alone, showing that yes, Suika is now a scientist. Yay! As well as we get, like, once again another callback to Senku when he first arrived in the world, when he wrote E = MC squared on it. Oh, and now that I think about it, does she have, I don't think she has, like, any type of actual markings on her body, which is very interesting. As far as I'm aware, we don't see any cracks on her body, but she was probably the most preserved of anyone, like being right underneath the revival fluid, so maybe that's the reasoning why. But we may see her try to figure it out, and right now we are seeing her trying to figure all of this out. She's like, revival fluid recipe. Oh no, she's trying to read. Oh gosh, she must not know how to read. That's so sad. I feel as if reading is like the fundamental thing that you need to do to follow instructions, but okay. Writing? What a neat thing. This lets Suika tell Suika all the details about the tricky science stuff. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Suika speaks about herself in the third person. Oh gosh, but it's fine. It's adorable. You'd think Suika studied so hard and learned how to read. But still, as we see Suika with the swirling eyes, I think this may be the confirmation that we get Suika knowing how to read, but reading and understanding are different things. I mean, yes, to be honest, as someone who understands sort of kind of like what Senku is doing specifically with like the chemistry. Yeah, no, I understand completely. Like reading, I can do that. Understanding the science stuff, oh, it takes literal years. But don't worry, Suika, you could probably figure it out on your own. You're a genius. You're a scientist. You can do it. As she just falls off after she just reads it because she doesn't understand it, and we get her just looking through the instructions, and it's like, revival fluid needs some kind of acid. Nitric acid? Looks like there are 3 different ways to make it, but no, not number 3. It can't be that one. Besides, it says option 3 takes a long time, and Suika can't wait that long to see every one again, so it's gotta be option 1 or 2. I think I know where this is going. She's gonna do 1 and 2. She's gonna fail at 1 and 2, so she has to do 3. Suika, I understand you want to see them, but you have to do it right. If option 3 is what gets you to the right solution, but it takes longer, take it. You're not that great at science yet, but I still love you. It's just like, let's rip option 3 out and put it back where it came from. Oh no, gosh, Suika. Suika's gonna work real hard on Suika's first science project. The directions don't make any sense, but Suika's just gonna follow them. It's gonna work. Also, I see a little like line that says science consultant. Oh, this is going to be the first time in a while where we've had Dr.STONE, which is a manga based around science, actually having science being consulted. As she goes to the jar, she pulls out I forgot what it is. Sulfuric acid. The sulfur. It says into SO4. I forgot the naming scheme of it, but I'm pretty sure it's sulfuric acid. I'm fairly certain about that. As she pours it into a bar, she starts heating it up. It explodes. She fails, and then she tries to use electricity, and she shocks herself, and we see her skull. Oh no. As she's thinking to herself, she's failed so many times. It's like, you guys were always doing tricky project things like this, huh? It's all just too much. Definitely too hard for Suika. Suika can't be hopeful after all. But then she looks at what she put in Senku's jacket, and it's like, wait, Suika ignored option 3, but even if it takes a long time, this might be the only way. Mental poop. Oh gosh. She reads it and she looks at it. Oh no. So she has to wait for a baby capybara to shit out poop on the ground, and she has to pick it up and put it in a jar. She's like, stinky. I mean, I hate that, but that's unfortunately a thing. And she's like, this poop isn't enough at all. What other poop is there? Suika's? No, never. Oh no. But she looks up and she sees like some form of like crams flying over her. She's like, guano. Waterfowl Island, as she decides to go to the Guano Island. Oh gosh, she's like, this white stuff all over this island is actually bird poop. Oh, nitric acid. Okay, so she's trying to make the nitric acid. Mix poop with the ashes of burnt vegetation and bury the mixture for a year. A whole year? That's so long. The method Suika chose was actually the traditional one used in Sengoku period in Japan, among other places. The goal seems very far off, but following every step, one at a time, leads to success. Such is the path of science. Yes! Next, burning seashells. As she looks at how to try to convert it, she's like, it's so easy to lose track of what's going on. Suika should just draw one of those things, the same way Senku and Chrome always do. Oh, we get Suika's roadmap. Oh, this is so great. And it's so Suika. It's so adorable. You have Suika's start, where she gathers the poop, water, firing, straw shells to create the nitric acid lump. And she has sake, to create alcohol, so she kind of may know how to use that, and nitric acid lump, the sulfuric acid, and alcohol makes the revival fluid. She wrote it all down. She has a way of doing it, and I think she wrote it on a leaf in fire, which is very interesting, showing that she does have the capability of doing it. Oh, this is gonna be great. I can't wait. And she's like, the nitric acid field. Have to water the nitric acid field just right. Too much or too little is no good. She's gathering shells. She's gathering plants. Just have to keep testing. Even if a whole year of work ends in failure, over and over and over again. Oh, we're gonna get a time skip, Suika. Oh no. That's 2,360,109,750 seconds as we see 7, 8, 9. As we see Senku 1, 2, 3. Just trying to keep track of time while the world is going back to stone. As we see someone pouring revival fluid on Senku. Senku's cracking. It's beginning to crack. Someone's being freed from the prison as the first thing that they see. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I know this is gonna happen. Oh gosh! I think this is like Senku's the first. Yeah, I'm fairly certain Senku's the first one to be cracked. As we get the reveal of Suika, more grown up, is more of a woman, and she's like, I'm gonna see if I can give her a more mature voice. Sorry to make you wait so long. You might not even recognize me anymore. You sure made yourself useful, Suika, as he bursts out, and he still has the scars on his forehead, which, okay, it didn't fix that, but I mean, it's Senku's like main like thing, so it makes sense that it wouldn't fit. As we get like once again a parallel to what we saw at the color page of this chapter of Senku fully breaking out of the prison, the petrification stone, as Suika just breaks down crying as she hugs Senku, and it's like, it's only been 7 years, huh? You worked quick. 7 years? Chapter ends. Oh. Oh no. Oh, I mean, let's be honest. It makes sense that it would take Suika 7 years to do it. And it took like Senku like 2 years to do his, but even with all of the science know-how, like, he basically got that off luck. And the fact that it only took her 7 years to do this, it's still an amazing feat. But oh, how old was Suika before this? 10, 9, 8. It's been 7 years. She's been alone for 7 years, and she has grown up into a woman. She's cute, but I'm gonna be honest, I really like her design right now. I hate this in a good way. All right, now let's go back. Let's recompose myself. Let's go into review mode right now, because overall, Dr. Stone, the past few chapters have just been freaking amazing. I've loved every chapter up until this moment. This was a small mini arc for Suika to grow both physically and metaphorically and mentally, but we've seen her growth this entire time. And even like through the series prior, this was all kind of building up to this, because we really think about it, Suika has been like a main part of the cast like ever since the beginning, and she's always been the youngest. She's always wanted to be helpful. She's always wanted to be useful. And over the past like 3 or 4 chapters, we have seen how useful she is. Even at this young age, she was able to basically read complex instructions, which even for me now, who's gone through 4 years of college and had to take an entire class on chemistry where we literally did this exact same stuff. The fact that she was still able to do this in 7 years is still amazing. Something that even I don't think that I could have done in that amount of time, and I know and I kind of understand it. And the fact that she was able to do this just shows her motivation and her determination to do it. And unfortunately, there was a quicker way of doing it, but she just didn't have that know-how. But she did know how to, she did know the understanding of like how the nitric acid came from poop and how she had to do this correctly, because here's also another thing that we have to remember. The revival fluid takes a specific concentration of everything to actually work. It's like, I think like 93% nitric acid or 93%, yeah, nitric acid from the poop. And that you have to have like a certain percentage of alcohol, or maybe 90% alcohol to nitric acid to sulfuric acid. Like it has to be in a specific ratio for it to work. And the fact that it took her 7 years, it makes sense, because if she messed up part way through one of them and put too much water or too less water or didn't have the right ratios, then it wouldn't create revival fluid, and she would basically have to start over. And since it took her a year to do it, she basically had to start over 6 additional times before on the 7th time she got it right. And even then, she had to grow, and she had to do all of this alone, had to maybe go back to the island to collect more of like the bird's poop multiple times at a time, the guano. And the fact that she was able to like realize that, hey, I can read now, but even reading was still difficult for her, but she created a roadmap that she was able to follow. It's still amazing and showing like how important that she is as a character, that she's not just like the lonely kid sidekick, that she actually played and helped to rescue Senkyu, which is amazing because she never had the confidence that she could do it. And now, by the fact that she was the first one to be revived and that she was able to revive Senkyu, she has shown that she can help. And the fact that she was able to do all of this over this next 7 years, she probably has more science know-how than possibly Gin, than possibly Kohaku, than possibly anyone who was like revived from like the 3,000 years in the past. She probably knows more about science than they do, and she grew up in this type of stone world. And that's just a very interesting and amazing like understanding of how science works, where normally the younger generation should know more than the older generation because they have access to all of their knowledge. And even though it may take them longer to realize it, they can still incorporate it in a shorter time than their predecessors. And that's kind of what this entire arc is about, just passing on the knowledge of science from one generation to the next. And if we really just think about it, think about how long it took Senkyu to actually do this. He went through like high school, all that knowledge that he gained over his like 16, 17, 18 years before he was petrified. Suika had to basically do that from 0 at the age of 10 or 9 or 8, when Senkyu had all of that knowledge when he was like beginning like at 4 or 5, and she was able to do it in half the time, showing that because Senkyu already gave her like the baseline for it, she was able to accomplish what he couldn't in a shorter amount of time. And the fact of the matter is, what Senkyu did, he just got lucky. This shows how Suika was able to actually put in the work to do it instead of just getting lucky, because she had the steps, she had to do it perfectly, and she did fail along the way, which is the course for science, but she did eventually succeed, and that success led to the revival of Senkyu, which is amazing. And even Senkyu recognizes it by saying that you made yourself useful, Suika, as she cries for the first time in probably 7 years. So overall, I really enjoyed this chapter of Dr. Stone, and I'm going to most likely enjoy what happens next, because now Suika is going to most likely be playing a larger part in the story, which, you know, I'm always down for. Now we just have to have Nikki play a larger part and Luna play a major part, and I'm just gonna be happy with the series altogether, because that's like really like my top 3 people. Like Kohaku's also up there. I'm realizing that my top 4 favorite characters are all females, but that's just how great the female cast of Dr. Stone is. They're all written fairly well, and Suika is just being added on to that list of very well written female characters in Dr. Stone. So yeah, going to what I think is going to be happening. Next chapter predictions. I think it's very obvious. We're going to have a lot of dialogue between Suika and Senku. Senku may most likely praise Suika for everything that she's done, and then they're going to be starting the revival process of everyone in the camp, and we may get the reveal of certain characters that are completely revived or completely healed, and then we also may get the reveal of certain characters dying. I'm gonna be honest, if like Boichi, as well as, just give me a minute, I have to remember the other artist, the other person involved with it. You got Boichi, and then you also got Inagaki. If both Boichi and Inagaki are able to like revive everyone without any casualties, I would be okay with that. But I would be more impressed if next chapter we get the reveal of like not just like Tsukasa died, or even like Soga, not Soga. If so is it Soga? Gosh, Hyoga died. If Hyoga died, that would just be based on, I'm like, okay, I saw that coming. If Tsukasa died, I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty sad, but I don't understand it. But like, if it's a real like, oh, Taiju actually died, I would actually be like, whoa. But most likely, I'm expecting everyone to be revived safely. If they killed off Kohaku, oh, that would be stab in the heart. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think most likely everyone's going to be revived. Everyone's going to be healed. Everyone's going to be surprised at how old Suika is, which is going to be amazing. And I think and then they're going to continue on their road to try and stop the Y-Man and try to revive humanity one more time. This time they already have the know-how to do it, and now they just have to make sure that they're able to establish the different cities once again, so that they're able to get to the moon to really discover why the Y-Man is doing all of the things. So that's what I think is going to be happening next chapter. But what do you think is going to be happening next chapter? And what did you think of this chapter? Did you think it was amazing? Did you think it was awesome? Did you hate the fact that we focused on Suika for the past, I don't know, like month and a half? 5 chapters? And if you do, why are you wrong? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload new content. Do all that cool jazz. And hopefully I can catch you in my next video. Goodbye!